Let's go. It's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show.
Which one, old man, that ain't got to shake your hand? Get that side check, put it in pockets like it's back.
Isaac is back. The necromorphs are back. The crazy eutologists are preaching their crazy bullshit. They're back. The story is Ellie needs Isaac's help once again to stop the Makers. You must go to the source of it all to stop it. On top of that, we have a brand new partner in the title, Carver, who shows up once in a while in solo, but if you partner with a friend in co-op, he's always there and around, changing the story around. The gameplay shifts to more action-oriented stance. You still get the occasional pop-up scares, a lot of gross monsters will attack you, and some violent as hell kills. But overall, the game feels much more like a shooting and surviving than relying on little ammo and fighting 2 or 3 enemies at once. Gone is also the 4 weapon holder stance and replaced with creating 2 unique weapons in which you can fully customize. On top of that, we have quite a bit more set pieces, and while 2 did it really well, 3 brings it to new heights. So this all sounding pretty great, right? Well, let's break it down right now. Wacka down. Okay, I'm not doing that ever again.
Which one, old man, that ain't got to shake your hand? Get that side check, put it in pockets like it's back. Going downtown.
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of Dead Space 1 and 2, so go watch my reviews if you haven't, but let's start off with the good here. The story itself isn't bad. It's losing focus as it goes through, but I'll get back to that in a minute. However, the voice acting is still top notch. You feel real emotion for Isaac and probably Carver and Ellie if you invest the time into the game. On top of that, the backstory in this game and the messages left behind by different people are the best they've ever been, so it's nice to see those features are still great or even better than previous titles. The finale, while not amazing or a super twist, is still well done, and I definitely can't wait for more of the Dead Space world. The graphics for the most part are great, the effects are amazing, the different design on the weapons are great, and the necrophores are nasty as shit, and some are really cool designed. All the, also the black versions of them all back. I call them the crazy Negro versions, but they're just basically Super Saiyan versions of the necromorphs. You also travel around in different places this time, and it doesn't feel like one gigantic ship like 1 and 2. Isaac still has some badass suits to try on, and overall the game still has its slick and nice style from the previous 2. The gameplay in terms of shooting is well done, and is the best the series has seen so far. Really slick, really fast and fun, with lots of different combinations with the different weapons you can make. You can still slow down enemies with stasis, and at times will be surrounded by a lot of baddies and have to figure out ways to survive or make it out, keeping the tension high. The set pieces that occur are also a great way of keeping the tension out, and they are fucking awesome. The customization bench is mostly great, though I suck at it, let's be honest. It took me a while to get used to it, but once I did have a lot of fun creating some badass weapons. You could mix them around and make like a a flamethrower on top of a freaking machine gun and electric pulse rifle on top of it. Just all these different combinations, and it's awesome. But I won't lie, I do miss the old upgrade style from 2 a little bit more. But I learned to adapt, shut up, and enjoy it. Co-op is also drop in, drop out, and that doesn't affect the overall game in any negative way. If anything, it makes it more fun if you want to complete more side missions on top of playing a game with a buddy and fucking up necromorphs, because let's be honest, as much as we all love Dead Space 1 and 2, if you were actually scared or somehow frightened by the game, even though you were basically the motherfucking shit, you must be crazy. The tension came from fighting a bunch of enemies at once or figuring out situations to kill these guys, and the sound effect. That's not changed at all in the co-op. So honestly, the co-op is a great addition in my opinion. Now bad. I disliked the lack of focus this game seemed to have at times. When introducing side missions in bigger areas, a lot of backtracking and doing side stuff is in this title. While some of it will eat it up, and it's pretty fun in co-op, in single player it feels less focused than the previous two titles, making you not as attached to the story or characters as you should be about the middle portion of the game. I also felt some environments lacked the polish, making some of the snow areas not looking all that great. Also, some of the explosions from weapons look kind of like a rehash from Dead Space 1, not even 2. Not really acceptable when Dead Space 1 or 2 at the time looked amazing. Also, I just want to note that the weapon sounds and the feel of the weapon sometimes don't feel all that powerful. Like in 2, I felt like a badass when shooting my weapon, here not so much. But that also came later as the more upgrades I got, the more powerful they felt. So I guess it all came down to the upgrade system. Also, I like to state that the bench can take a lot of time to get used to. It can be a lot of fun to make weapons, but some people just like collecting a weapon and upgrading it, like myself. I can understand why this could be a negative or a positive. Now that's the bad. I only have one ugly feature, and it's the fetch quest feel is back. In Dead Space 2, I really didn't feel like I was on a fetch quest like I was in 1. But 3 brings that back to go here, do that, go back, build that, go here, insert that, go back, repeat it, oh, do it again, put it in deeper. No, I'm just fucking with you, it doesn't say that, but something like that. And it happens far too often and becomes really annoying at certain parts of the game. That's my only ugly feature, but it's still an ugly feature nonetheless.
Waits for no man and ain't got time to shake your head. Get that side check, put it in pockets like it's back. Going downtown.
Now, I know it sounds like I'm bashing the game because I always finish off with the ugly section, but I'm really not. I have a couple of negatives, and you may be thinking, this is just not worth checking out. Let me make this clear. I spent over 12 hours in this game, more than 1 or 2, skipping a good amount of side quests, and not even touching the co-op, really. I still had a fucking blast. Let me make that very clear. New Game Plus now, which lets me keep upgrades but fight on a harder difficulty, plus other modes like Classic to play. On top of that, the co-op changes the story moments, so I'm definitely going to get into that right after I finish this review. On top of that, the game is just plain fun as fuck most of the time. Like I said, some negatives here and there, and sure, it doesn't feel as polished as 2, but it's still a damn fun game. Negatives aside, I still say this one is worth picking up, but when it's cheaper. I got it for $30, not upset at all. If you can get it for $30, even $40, I'ma say you'll be very satisfied. At $60, you might feel like this game could have been a bit more polished or could have had a little bit more of a, you know? But as for a fun factor, it's definitely present in Dead Space 2, just falls short of its predecessors.